Good morning, bienvenidos. I hope everybody is doing well this morning. We're going to be talking about Wonderopolis, the Wonderground of resources for educators this morning, and I'm really excited to share this website. So I once read a quote that says that wonder is the beginning of wisdom, and curiosity is a catalyst to learning and growing. So I hope that you find that the session today is useful for all the participants that are still wanting to learn and grow in your classroom. So we are going to be reviewing this free website called Wonderopolis and the 5 main features of this site. So thank you for joining us, and here we go. The session objectives are to be able to navigate through the resource website called Wonderopolis. So before we get started, I am actually wondering myself, who is in the webinar room today? So if you're able to and you haven't done so already, type in the chat your name and what you do. For example, you're an ESL instructor, a GED instructor. Do we have any administrators, supervisors, coordinators, anyone in the chat room today?
And I will let you know when responses start coming in. So Catherine is joining from supervisor from Region 1. Welcome, Catherine. And we have Jordan, who's a GED instructor, and we have Sheila, ESL instructor, Rachel Valdez, GED instructor, and welcome. Pedro is an instructor from Region 1, and we have another ESL instructor, Mr. Falcon, and Carlos is an ESL instructor. So we've got a good mix here. We have got, a Teams data specialist, Yolanda and Leslie, and we've got a great mix. We've got a great mix, Catalina. Thank you, everybody.
Great. Thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you for sharing and introducing yourselves. I really appreciate that. So I want to give you a little background about the website and its purpose. So this is a nationally acclaimed website, Wonderopolis, and it was created by the National Center for Family Learning, NCFL, in 2010. It's actually become one of the most popular education sites today. And some of the highlights of this platform include over 2,000 wonders of the day. They cover a vast range of topics, and you're sure to find something in the website that will interest you. They have over 45 million visitors since the site launched, and they welcome more than 1 million visitors each month. So all of the new wonders of the day come from users themselves, and they have platform extensions. A gamified camp, Wonderopolis, that we'll get to explore today, and the Wonderground, the educator network that is part of the second session of this series. So Wonderopolis is quoted by saying, "The excitement of learning that comes from curiosity and wonder is undeniable, and Wonderopolis helps create learning moments in everyday life." They've also won a few awards, such as Time Magazine, Parenting.com, USA Today, and Learning Magazine. So they have a multidisciplinary content that purposely aligns the Common Core State Standards, the STEM Educational Quality Framework, and Bloom's Digital Taxonomy. The possibilities for using Wonderopolis in your classroom are endless, and you can use daily wonders to jumpstart your students' critical thinking or dip into the ever-growing collection of wonders for content that relates to specific themes and students' interests. So the Wonderground is really a playground for educators to further their interaction with students as well. So that's a little background. What I've done is to facilitate the ease of use for this webinar is I have made a Tech and Tell map that we will use and follow for today. So every time that we switch from one section or one tab in the website to the next, it will be highlighted in green in the Tech and Tell map. And I hope everyone finds this useful as a visual organizer as we go through the different sections. So the website address can be found here at the top of this slide. It's a free and open website, and you do not necessarily need to register to access the website. However, if you want to receive the Daily Wonders, subscription is really quick and easy, and once you do it, you will get a daily lesson plan straight to your inbox every day. And we'll get to visit the subscription window in just a few minutes. This is what the Wonderopolis homepage actually looks like. And what I've done is I've color-coded the tabs with the arrows just to kind of help you go through and navigate these tabs. So here at the homepage is where you automatically see the wonder of the day every day. Now, you might be wondering, what is the wonder of the day? Well, it's a question that is posed daily and answered in a very interactive and engaging manner using vocabulary, videos, and other resources. Now, on the screen, what's great about it is that if you can notice these left and right arrows, you can actually toggle left and right to see the wonder of the day as well as most current wonders that have been posted. And again, we will have an opportunity today to jump over to the live website so you can get to see that as well. When you're in the home page, you will be able to see this green banner titled Wonderground. Now, this section of the website is the place to find educator resources, such as lesson plans, blogs, and connections to college and career readiness standards. We will take a closer look at this page specifically designed for educators in part 2 of the series. But if your curiosity gets the best of you, I invite you to take a stroll through Wonderground on your own, and you will definitely be sure to enjoy the content that you find there. Next, this is still on the home page. Towards the bottom of the page, you have a quick access bar. Here you can search and see all the wonders that the site has to offer. And they put the most current ones up as well for your viewing. Now, you might be asking, how do I sign up to receive the daily wonder to my inbox? Well, you will find that at the very bottom of the Wonderopolis homepage. And as you can see by the yellow arrow, it says, Get Your Wonder Daily. What I've done here is I've zoomed in on this section. Now, this is where you can subscribe to receive the Daily Wonder. The subscription is quick and easy. And once you do it, you will get a daily lesson plan straight to your inbox. All you do is enter your email, right where it says enter your email. I hope everybody can see that with that big yellow arrow, and click to subscribe. So it's really simple to do that. And as an activity, I want you to take some time to subscribe right now to the Daily Wonder. If you can, open the Wonderopolis homepage, scroll to the bottom, and subscribe. And I believe Anne-Marie still has that Wonderopolis link posted in the chat pod. I'm going to give you just a few seconds to subscribe. So once you do that and once you subscribe, and I know some of you are still doing that, so thank you for participating in this quick activity. Thank you, Ms. Cardenas, for subscribing. So once you do that and you go to the email that you've entered, your inbox, you're going to get something that looks like this. So this is an example from January 9th, and it's called What Are Prisms? And we're going to take a look at this lesson that's in your inbox a little more closely. So this is what it will look like, and I took a screenshot of it, and we're going to explicitly walk through this lesson, but you also have the option of looking at this lesson, the Wonder of the Day, online, and it can be used for several purposes, such as a lesson hook or a springboard at the start of your lesson. It can also be an extension of what you already did or even an enrichment. It can support content area topics that might be challenging or more difficult for your participants to navigate through. In this example of What Are Prisms, it begins with additional connecting questions to explore the topic, and such as what are the colors of light and what is dispersion? And I hope everybody can see that under that subtitle, Have You Ever Wondered? We then dive further into the exploration of this topic by asking that other subtitle, Did You Know? This section begins to explain the question that was posed that day. Now here, since it is in your inbox, there are certain words that are highlighted in red, and I'll show you a little bit more on this next screen. So these words that are highlighted in red, if you click on them while you're still in your email, it will take you directly to that specific Wonder of the Day on the live website. So it's really cool. It actually starts creating those threads of connections and related topics. Now, as you scroll through the daily lesson plan that you receive, you'll also see these other subtopics that can be expanded, and you can look into various links that are related to prisms. So here you can see if you're still wondering, you're wondering what's next. It gives you the wonder of the day for certain days that are coming up, and it gives you wonder tags. These are related tags that are also available for you. Included in your wonder of the day, we have wonder words. And these are vocabulary words that are specifically related to focus in on the content of the day. In this case, some words that are selected are angles, theory, distorted, inverted, developed, spectrum, and triangular. And I hope everybody can see those at the top of the page under wonder words. So here's where you have endless possibilities on how you choose to teach and incorporate these related vocabulary words in your lessons. The try it out section I find so useful and really cool because we know that our participants may be parents, grandparents, we know they have busy lives. We can actually use this section to give them ideas on how to take this knowledge back to their families. This is especially useful for programs like ours that have Family Literacy Academy. One activity listed here is how to make your own prism. This is a great way to get everybody involved. And as instructors and coordinators and everybody that's here today, you can even try using some of these in your class. Especially helpful is, for example, a science GED class or for an ESL class. What better way to practice and learn and embed language than through hands-on learning? We all know that brains learn better by doing. So these are great examples of some of the things that you can do with your students. Now, if there is still more spark and more curiosity for students, the Still Wondering section is used for additional activities. And this section includes the wonder of what's next and finally those related wonder tags that lead to related searchable content. So if you go to the bottom of the lesson plan that you get, because remember, this is still in your inbox, and you click on this red banner that says View the Full Wonder and take the Wonder Quiz, this will actually take you to the website. So we're going to do that here in just a second. When you click on it, it's going to look something like this. So now I'm going to go ahead and toggle out of the PowerPoint presentation, and I want to share with you the live website.
And Catalina, I did have a question come in. Actually, I was thinking the same thing, and that is when they get the lesson plan in their email or when they find it on the main site, when it comes in their email, is there a printable version, or do they have to go to the live website to get the printable version of the lesson plan?
That's a great question. So I've actually done both. Sometimes I'm in my inbox and I really like the content that comes in. I print it directly from my email, but sometimes there's formatting issues, so I've had to sometimes cut and paste and put it onto just a regular Word document just to save it electronically and for ease of finding it later for myself. But you can definitely print it off of your email. So here, I'm going to direct you to the right-hand side over here on this green bar. You can see the print icon. You can also use that to print. So I hope that answered that question. It's really very easy to use and to access the content. So now we're going to look at the actual live website. And on the live website, you can see across the top the different tabs that we're going to look at in just a second. But for example, for today, you have the Wonder of the Day, who is Jesse James. And this is so cool because you can see the content. So right now we're looking at something that's related to social studies. Again, it gives you the connecting questions to spark that curiosity. But as you scroll down, you can see the different areas where you can click on and expand. For example, all of these here are pictures that I can definitely click and expand on. There's a section where you can play a video. But before I play a little snippet of the video, I also want to show you this really cool section. As I'm reading the article about who is Jesse James, for example, for today, there are these words that are highlighted in yellow, and this really is helpful for either the ESL student, even the HSC student, to build that language and that vocabulary. If I hover over the word, look what happens. It gives me a quick definition of that word so that I can quickly read it. It helps with my comprehension, and I can continue reading the article. And that happens quite a bit throughout the website. Another cool feature is, if you remember back in your email when there's words that are highlighted in red, well, the same thing happens on the web page when they're highlighted in green. In this case, truth and legend become blur. If I were to click on that, and I'm not going to because I don't want to get out of this page before I'm done explaining. If I were to click on that, it takes me to the wonder of the day that actually explains that part. And you can see here how we have slaveholder and Civil War throughout the article that's explained. On the right-hand side, it also has some wonder words where I can take a wonder word challenge for those participants and students that want to challenge their vocabulary knowledge. And then we have a did you get it? This is a quick comprehension check just to test their knowledge of what they read today. You also have the standards that are correlated here, as well as the wonder what's next and the try it out, and some additional sources on the right-hand side. So this looks and feels definitely more interactive, more colorful than the lesson plan that's coming into your inbox. And so I'm going to go back now, and I want to play a little snippet of the video. Now, you're not going to be able to hear it, so I'm going to launch it. I'm going to try and expand it and mute it and put captions all at the same time. So I just want you to take a look at that. Thank you. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate the feedback. So this is an example of one. And I do want to warn you, they're not all animated this way, okay? They're all different and in different levels and different categories. It's just a little snippet of one that happens to be cartoonish for today, but some of them are not that way. So I don't want you to get discouraged when you see that. But you know, some students like that and it appeals to them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint so that we can continue. But I'm going to stop right here and ask you, do you have any questions about what we just viewed?
Back on the main page where it has Wonder of the Day, Kat, when they're looking, when they're hovering over the vocabulary words or those sections that are highlighted, is there a text-to-speech option so they can hear the word being pronounced, or no?
That's a great question, and that's something that I need to do my homework on. I will definitely research that, and in our part 2 of this series, I will definitely have that answer for you. But it's very quick to try and check it out to see if there is. I just haven't used that option, but I can definitely see where we would need that, and I can look into it for you.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Oh, you're welcome. And here we've got some questions. Thank you so much, Kat, for answering that. Okay, we have a question, and this comes from Miss Moya. Hello, Liz. Do you know if the videos can be slowed down? And another is if the captions are only in English. So, Kat, those videos are on YouTube, so it has to do with the options on YouTube, I believe.
Yes, that is correct. So you definitely have some options on YouTube. You can definitely pause, stop. Some are able to be slowed down, but I wouldn't be able to tell you specifically which because there's literally thousands of video. Some of them have the option for other languages and some don't. So if you want to use one of the videos, you definitely, if you want those options, you would have to explore the bank of videos that are housed within the website. And I'm going to actually be walking you through that in just a few minutes so you can see how to search the content in the videos. But thank you, Ms. Moya. Those are great questions. Okay, so now here's your visual reminder of where we are in our Tech Intel map. So we're going to explore the wonders. On this part of the website, it's called Explore Wonders. And so let's say that you're getting ready to prepare a lesson plan and you want to use this as a resource. You can definitely type in this search bar. you can search all the wonders. So if there's a specific category that you want to look in, you can definitely type it in the search bar. Carnivorous plants, for example. And it'll take you to all of the wonders that have been submitted that are related to carnivorous plants, for example. So you can explore general topics that are already preloaded at the top of the web page, as you can see here. But you can also explore the wonders by content area. And the content areas that are included are such as science, math, as you can see here, social studies, language arts, technology, arts, and culture. So I really like the way this is organized because it really helps us focus in on the content area that we might be focusing in our classrooms. So I know you're wondering, when are we going to do another activity, right? So it's that time. I want you to conduct just a quick search in the tab on something you taught this week or you plan to teach for next week, and comment in the chat something that you found. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. It would be here on this tab of Explore Wonders if you're able to. And if you can't right now, that's okay. But that way you know where you can find that quick search bar to search either by a general topic on recent wonders or even more specifically by a content area. And this is, I feel, really useful for those HSE teachers that want to focus in on a particular thread of content in their classrooms.
Awesome. And Liz shares that she found something on Juneteenth. What about everyone else? We have a lot of people on the webinar, so please feel free to join in and put what you found in the chat pod.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ms. Moya. That's an interesting topic you found. I'm going to go ahead and go on. And we're back at our Tech and Tell map. And here you can see that we're going to go to the next tab called What Are You Wondering? The next color-coded tab is labeled in blue. And here is the place which I find really interesting where educators can join the wonder creation and add their own questions to the Wonder Bank. In this area, the wonders that have been entered are listed in categories such as most recently viewed, highly rated. You can see all the nominees of all the questions that have been submitted, those that have been published, and you can even vote on some of your favorite ones. So I thought this was a cool, neat little feature. And now we're going to move on to Camp Wonderopolis. And this is one of the areas that I really also enjoy using. So when you click on that tab, I'm going to back up just a little bit. On that purple tab, you can see it there with the arrow. It's going to take you to this page. And so this page is called Welcome to Camp Wonderopolis. And it's an area of the website that is for a summer learning destination. So although it's geared and it looks like it's geared more towards the younger learner, I do want to direct your attention to several areas that you might find useful for your adult learners. So let's say I were to click on one of these camps, and you can see, for example, there's a Symphony of Wonders where it talks about music. There's another one for Build Your Own Wonder City where it has construction. But if you were to click on one of those, it would take you to a page that looks like this. And in this case, they're doing Wonderpulse. And so here are hands-on activities that are related to the heartbeat, and the heart and the pulse. And so it's really neat because it gives you additional content that you can use in your classrooms. But in addition to that, from this page, you also have this section. So at the bottom of Camp Wonderopolis, you can join the Wonderground, which is we're going to explore in session 2 of our series. You can go back to Wonderopolis, but then they also give you the link to the National Center for Families and Learning. And so that all of those resources that have a plethora of more content information are there at your fingertips. Now, this is a part that I find really, really cool. Once you're in the camp, there is this section that's called Recommended Readings. So we looked at the one that was about pulse and heart rate. And what I love about this is that it has this section that you can see with a red arrow marked with fiction and nonfiction related readings that are organized by age. And they actually don't start at age 9. I think they start with the pre-literacy, our little ones. But the beauty of this is that depending on the level of your students, you can select readings that make the level of comprehension and comprehensible input more accessible by content. So you can select a mentor text from these lists. You can create paired readings from a fiction and a nonfiction selection. And I want to point out that in this section, you can select readings from all age levels, but specifically, I want to direct your attention to the one that's marked age is 18 and up for the adult learner. So if you want to, let's say, decrease the level of text to compensate for language development, you can select paired readings from various age levels and varying degrees of difficulty and comprehensible input. So we might be wondering, right, what the implications are for adult education, and simply put, we can use these selected pairings, and we can also embed those readings and their understanding of that content within our employability skills framework. For example, I'm just going to point out a few. We can make connections and related content to information use, communication skills, comprehension of written material, critical thinking skills, applied academic skills, and technology use. So there's just a few that we can relate as we use these paired readings. So this part of Camp Wonderopolis, I just feel, has so many possibilities to use that mentor text and those paired readings to really focus in on our students' comprehension levels. Are there any questions about that?
So I just want to share really quick, lots of great contributions from everybody sharing what they found, which is wonderful. And Helen just has a comment. We are currently learning about items at the grocery store and prices, how to compare unit prices and lowest and cheapest prices. So Helen, I'm sure you could find something for that. And then I was just going to just share with the employability skills with Camp Wonderopolis, the paired text for Standards 2.0 and attacking some of those English language art standards. I think it would be great.
Thank you.
And, yep, and I don't see any questions, so we can keep moving.
Okay, we're going to move on. Thank you so much. Thank you for all your input and comments. I really appreciate the feedback. We're going to go back now to our Tech and Tell map, and the last part of it is called Wonders with Charlie, and this is also one of my favorites. I say that about every tab. I know. I don't know which one I like best, but this one is called Wonders with Charlie, and Charlie is actually a real person. Charlie Engelman is a writer, producer, and director of a couple of National Geographic television series called Nature Boomtime and Weird But True. And in this section, you can search just the videos on specific video content. So you don't necessarily have to search through all of the website and all of the wonders. If you're looking for an instructional video that maybe breaks down the content for a struggling learner into more easier chunks of comprehensible input, then you can definitely do that here. This is the place to do that, and let me show you. Right here, you have a sample of what the website looks like, and you have the different videos that you can search. And so I know that we're coming to the end of our time, but I would like, if you have an opportunity, even if you have an opportunity now as you're listening, to do a Wonder checkpoint and search the Wonders with Charlie videos, if you can share that, and as some of you have already done so. I did put the link of one at the top, but these videos are really cool to watch. And Charles Engelman actually hosts and talks through the content in the Wonders with Charlie. So this is a little bit different than the videos that are embedded in the Wonder of the Day, because these videos sometimes are used and sometimes are not, but all of the videos in Wonders with Charlie are narrated by Charlie, and it's really neat because they use graphics, and just his approach to it is really neat. And I know we can't hear it, but once you hear his voice and the animation together and the explanation, they're just easy to view and easy to understand. So I invite all of you to take a look at this tab, because it really is also one of my favorites to look at. So now we've come to the save the date. So we have Wonderopolis Part 2. I want all of you to invite all of you and put this on your calendar and save the date. This is where we're going to be specifically looking at Wonderground, and that's the site for educators that we talked about on that green banner at the beginning of the presentation. And that will explore the lesson plans, the blogs, and in there, there's also quite a bit of content that is useful for our adult learners.
I had a couple questions that came in.
Okay.
Number one, the videos with Charlie, do they have lesson plans, or they're just videos that can be used in the classroom? And then my second question is, let's go back to the wonder of the day, and is there a way to search for the wonders of the day to go back to look for what are the search capabilities? Because I'm wondering if it would be good for the teachers to hear about how could they search different ways to grab the lessons.
Okay, so first question on the videos with Wonders with Charlie. So great question about the lesson plan. So these videos sometimes are attached to the lesson plan already. But the Wonders with Charlie, specifically this tab, is if you already have something built in your lesson plan, right, aside from the wonder of the day, and you just want to find a way to show a visual representation of that content, then you can quickly hit this tab and search for a video. So for example, let's say I'm working on climate change. So I'm just going to click on that, and it gives you the explanation. There's Charlie. So he goes through and explains a little bit about what is climate change. So to answer your question, yes, sometimes there is a lesson plan attached to it. Most cases there are, but this is a quick way to get a video that maybe you're not teaching in a wonder of the day and you just want extra content to help them process through it. So here's just a little snippet. And then the second question was exploring the wonders, right? So to explore the wonders, because there's so many, you definitely can go back to this tab right here, Explore the Wonders, and you can type in this search box what you're looking for. And if you just want to peruse the site and see what there is, you can scroll down and you can see here. How do you freshen air? How far can butterflies fly? There are just different topics that are listed here, and the most current ones are always at the top. So you can either search in this search bar, or you can go and just scroll and see, load more results. And then I can specifically search for content area wonders of the day. So let's say I'm an HSE teacher and I'm looking at science, and I look at these preloaded ones, but they're not really what I'm looking for. I can go here to this green button and explore science, explore math, explore social studies, language arts, technology, and so forth. And so you can really focus in on what you're doing. I was actually sharing this website with a colleague, and she said, I wonder if they have math. And so sure enough, we did an Explore Math, and you can see already how it starts to load. And she specifically wanted something on division. So here, this one says, today's wonder of the day is division. What is a quotient? And look at that. You start to see all of the content that's related to division, and specifically in this case, a quotient. And again, you have your highlighted words. And what I really like about this is, look, if I hover over dividend, a number that is being divided by another number. If I highlight over divisor, a number we divide a dividend by, and then quotient, the solution of a division problem. So it really just kind of breaks down those chunks of information, and it gives you hands-on activities as well. So I was really pleasantly surprised to see that it even has math content, which sometimes students tend to struggle through that depending on the topic. So I would like for you now to do a quick activity. Go and search for a lesson in Wonder of the Day in that tab that I just demonstrated for you. If you can do that real quick and share in the chat something that you found interesting. And I'm going to toggle back to the website so you can see it. So right here for Explore Wonders, if you can go ahead and go to this tab and just search. Search something you're going to teach for next week or the next couple of weeks and share with us your findings. I just really love this website, and I think it's very useful for not only our ESL instructors and students, but also our different GED classrooms. And in the second part of this, what I really like is there is even career pathway articles that are in the Wonderground, and I'll explore that the next time that we get to see each other. I'm going to go to the live website. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to share that, and we're going to go to the home. And here, this one, is this the one you're referring to, Ms. Anne-Marie?
Well, actually, the search for the wonders of the day.
Oh, the search. Okay.
And
so
I'm wondering,
you can either do it on this page. So you see right here next to this magnifying glass, it says Search Wonderopolis. You can do it here. You can also do it in Explore Wonders. You can do it here. Okay, so there's the Search the Wonders is actually built in just about every single tab. Look at this one. What are you wondering? I can search right here.
So my question is,
every tab.
And I'm wondering if other people have this question. Can you search, because I know for contextualization and standards 2.0, could you search for welding or medical assisting or something like that? I'd be curious to see what comes up per industry. What do you guys think?
I wonder if it's loaded on here. Let's find out. It is Wonderopolis after all, right? So let's try welding. I found, let me see what came up. Why can't you look directly into the sun? Probably not having to do with welding. I know that we found one. We just so happened to have a student that was looking for a cosmetology. Oh, yeah. See, there was one that was on cosmetology, one of the wonders of the day. What was another one that you were asking for, Ms. Anne-Marie?
Whatever you think, and we've got some great comments coming in. Model commented on, and they're talking about all the job information. So Model came in and said it would be great for my older ESL students to introduce them to topics like using computers and the internet. Very good Model for digital literacy. Leticia says, I searched jobs and it gave me lots of different info. That's good.
Here we go. I did jobs as well. Letitia and I were on the same. I searched jobs as well, and here are some of the wonders of the day. Who is Steve Jobs? What jobs do people have in the past? Why do some people wear uniforms? Why does minimum wage exist?
Are you an entrepreneur? Oh, sorry. I'm getting excited with everyone else.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. So you can do just a keyword. And so this is that kind of website that you can just really spend a lot of time on and do lots of different searches. Look, can canines have careers? Okay. Very good. So let's click on the entrepreneur one.
Lots of great responses coming in. Lots of great responses, Catalina, coming in. I just want to share a couple of them. There was a wonderful comment. They're all wonderful. Leticia says this would be wonderful for the Family Literacy Academy to teach the participants how they can use Wonderopolis to help their children with homework. Helen says vocational careers for ESL students. Sheila had a great comment to use for soft and hard skills, because I did see some on, work-related topics. That's excellent.
I want to point out, I clicked on the Are You an Entrepreneur? And I want to point something out. Whenever something is directly related, for example, careers, you can see it right next to the topic. So here we have social studies, and here's careers. So anything that's ever related to careers and you want to explore that for your classrooms, it'll tell you right here, which I really like. And then you see all of the tags that are down here. Under tags, you can definitely search these tags as well, and it'll take you to those particular wonders of the day.
So this is very good information, Catalina. Thank you so much. And as I was sharing, lots of wonderful input in the chat pod from the participants.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Rachel. I see your comment. I love this for math, because here we use the standard system of measurement and not many know the metric system. Good point. Wow. That's an excellent comment. Something that I hadn't really thought about, but excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. And now I'm able to see some of the comments. So thank you, all of you, for searching through and looking at these.
Okay, so we, if you want, we're here we go.
All right. So we have the save the date. Go ahead, Miss Anne-Marie.
Go ahead, Catalina.
Okay. So we have save the date. We invite all of you to put this on your calendar. It's Wonderopolis Part 2. This is the Wonderground for Educators. This will be on Friday, March 20 of 2020. And it's the resources for all of you. And here's where we're going to actually look at some of the lesson plans that some of our instructors have written. We'll share that with you. We'll look at the lesson plans that are included within Wonderground. We'll look at some of the blogs and some of the correlations to the standards, as well as the Content Standards 2.0, and definitely explore more of those connections with the Employability Skills Framework. And so what questions do you have? Is there anything that you're still wondering about? You can let us know at this time. And if not, you can always reach out to us, and we will definitely continue the exploration of this website also in our second session of this series.
And Catalina, share with everybody what specifically, because this is going to be awesome. I can't wait until March. What you're going to really dive into in Part 2, because I think that's going to pull everything together.
Okay, so let me give you a little preview. Thank you for asking. I'm going to go back and toggle into the website, and I want to specifically give you a little preview. And if you just can't wait, you can always explore this on your own right here where it says Join Wonderground. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And this is a preview of what this website looks like for instructors. And so it gives you the homepage, high interest, inquiry-based learning. But here is where you can explore the website a little bit. And so you have the lesson plans here, a link directly to the lesson plans. You have some educator blogs in which there's actually a blog there that is directly related to adult learners. You have educator resource, and then you have these education standard and correlations link. You also can go through, and the Wonderground here in this area, you can sign in to engage with a lot of that content as well, and you can search. And what I really like about this is this search is always available in just about every tab. But this a specific one is for Wonderground, for educators that want to look for lesson plans or resources, and of course, the wonder of the day. One of the areas that I really like on this are the education standards, and I'm going to click on that just to give you a little preview. And here's where it goes through the different educator standards. But if you can see, it gives you the college readiness anchor standards for reading informational text. But what I like is that you can click on a grade level. So let's say, just for example, that I want to look at the anchor standard number 1, but I want to look at it for an 11th and 12th grader. Then here it tells you the content standard and the CCSS anchor standard as well. And you can do that with just about every one of these. You can click on the standard, on the grade level, and it makes those connections for you. And so this is something that we're going to really dive into next time that we meet. We're back in the webinar room, and here we are. Thank you so much for joining me today. This was my first time, so I really, really enjoyed the learning process and all this. And I thank you, Anne-Marie, for inviting us to be part of this platform.
Oh my goodness. So as I'm typing this to everybody, I'd like everybody to just give Catalina a big virtual woohoo in the chat pod for me right now. This was her first job. Her first time doing this. I think she did an awesome job. So if everybody can just do a woohoo, all right, there coming in. I was so excited to have Catalina come and share her knowledge, and I can't wait to have her come back again and again. First and foremost, I would like to thank our presenter today, Catalina Requenes from Region 1 Education Service Center. And we will see you next time on Tech and Tell, and save the date for March 20th as Catalina is back. And take care, everybody.